Hello there everyone and welcome back to another Muunilinst mock update video. In this video I'll be working on the separatist speeder bike designs. Last episode I worked on the Republic speeder bike designs. Now it's time to design their opponent speeder bikes with the assassin droids and their epic speeder bike charge. So overall it's a very exciting episode, and without any further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, so similar to last episode, it's going to be kind of focusing on one main design and hopefully building multiples of those. So last episode I built the Republic speeder bikes. I'm actually very happy with the way they've turned out. I was only able to build 3, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to build a couple more for this episode, but I'm also going to be mainly focusing on getting the separatist speeder bike design down. So a few things to note, very similar to last episode, I need to build something that has parts available that I have in my collection, and that if I need to order more, they're going to be cheap parts and parts that I can get quite a few of. And they need to be sturdy and durable so I can kind of move them around, have them crashed and, charging when I'm setting up the speeder bike charge, and just create an all-around epic battle. So I'm excited. I'm a little worried. Vehicles worry me a lot, but I'm hoping I can build something that's similar size to the Republic versions and that look as good as those, because I'm pretty happy with those and what I was able to come up with for those. So hopefully it'll be pretty exciting. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll update you guys once I have some more progress. Alright guys, so usually I take you through a couple different design processes throughout these kind of updates, but I kind of just put my head down and built, so I apologize for not kind of updating you guys along the way, but I have got a first design down for the separatist speeder bikes. First off, the size I think works really well. Again, I don't know if you've noticed, I guess I put these clear things under all the speeder bikes just to get them to actually stand up and float and look like they're kind of flying and hovering in the air, because otherwise they just sit flat on the ground. But put an assassin droid next beside it can kind of give you a size comparison. And of course the speeder bikes for the separatists will be armed with these assassin droids right here. I have a lot of the silver ones and the black ones, but of course we see the black kind of shadow type assassin droids in the 2003 Clone Wars, so they will all be manning these speeder bikes. So I went with a very similar design up front that I did with the Republic speeder bikes, where I've kind of angled one of these kind of antenna pieces. This time they're black instead of gray, and I've angled them downward kind of like that, and I've got I took these triangle pieces that are found on almost every speeder bike that LEGO has done, and quite a lot of them, especially the older ones, and I've kind of replicated that and put those on the edge right there, and I think that works fairly well. Here is the body of the speeder bike. Nothing too crazy. Went with a brown and black pattern. I think that fit kind of the best. I've got some headlight bricks kind of faced on the side right here on the top, right up here. They're headlight bricks laid sideways so that I can get bricks on all sides, well, almost all sides. So I've got some tiles covering it up and then cheese slopes on top to kind of smooth it out like that. One thing that I'm going to change, so you'll notice this front part right here, I've got some slopes that go up like this, and they're in kind of the dark brown color. I think it looks really cool. The only problem is I can guarantee I don't really have any more of those in the collection, so that's not going to work. So I might have to go with normal brown for that. Secondly, you'll notice this piece right over here. I'll take that off, and here's a look on the inside. Again, nothing too crazy. I needed something to cover up the side right here to give it kind of some extra side armor and to cover up the filler bricks. We've got a modified brick under there, and then I've put this piece, kind of this interesting sloped piece, kind of covering it up like this. Another problem, I don't think I have very many of these kind of slopes, these large ones, so that's not going to work. So that means this speeder bike right here, I'm not going to be able to replicate 100%. So mostly this front part up here, I'm not going to be able to replicate that due to these pieces. So I'm going to have to change this from dark brown to normal brown. I'm going to have to figure out something else for the side and on the back right here, because I've put more of those slopes on the sides, and obviously that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to think of some sort of alternative. I may make this just like the squad leader or something like that, where the speeder bike's kind of leading the charge. It could be Dirge's speeder bike, because Dirge, of course, is in this speeder bike charge, and I'd love to include him. I've said for this whole series that I want to make a brick-built version. We'll see if I get around to doing that. But I'd love for him to maybe ride the speeder bike, but this won't be accurate to his. His is a little bit different. He's got like a skull on the front or something crazy like that. So I might make this just like a squad leader or something like that, where he's kind of second in command, kind of riding around. Or I may change it to fit in and try to make some different ones that actually I can, replicate otherwise. But I think this will just kind of be the squad lead one right now until we get Dirge in here. But yeah, here's design number 1. I'm going to incorporate a lot of different designs from this particular speeder bike on the next version, because I want to keep the base the same that I've got right here, Everything I want to keep the same except for kind of switching out the side paneling and the color of slopes up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work, and I'll update you guys once I come up with another solution. All right guys, so here's what I've come up with using the kind of base that I did on the last speeder bike and kind of changing a few things here and there to make it a little bit more accessible and easier for me to find parts and source parts to actually build this thing multiple times, because the other parts that I use I was just gonna have a hard time finding. So right off the bat, you can see I've changed the color of the slopes on top, so those are now just reddish brown. I think that works just fine. I've changed the side paneling to just be some tiles, so I have those kind of big curved pieces. I've just added in some tiles, used modified bricks and put tiles on the side like that, and one up here sticking sideways. I went through lots of different designs and I just felt like the simplicity worked a lot better for this particular speeder bike design. The Republic one, I wanted to have lots of armor because to me, when I looked at the Republic ones in the show, they to me always stood out as the kind of cooler design in the actual show and a little bit more bulky. And the Droids one seemed a little bit thinner and more maneuverable, at least to me, just by their design, not necessarily their like animation, but just the design. So that's what I kind of opted for this one, was a sleeker, slimmer. Cool. So that's what I opted for with this one, was just a sleeker and a little bit smaller design, thinner design. I think that works fairly well. The parts I didn't really want is like the inside filler. I've filled up with these tiles and just kind of adds a little bit more to it, but overall still kind of that thin design. You'll notice underneath, you can kind of see on the bottom side, I've got a little kind of vent piece down there, a sloped 1x2 vent kind of grill piece. That is, I looked at the show, that is accurate. They do have like underneath the front parts, there's kind of this weird like slope that actually, right when I saw in the show, it reminded me immediately of this piece. So that's why that's kind of underneath there, underneath these kind of main bars of the speeder bike. I think the black and brown and reddish brown really works well together for this assassin droid. Like right here, I think this color scheme just works really well, and I love it opposite of the clones. I just think it's going to look really good large scale when they're kind of charging at each other. But yeah, everything's pretty much the same except for that side paneling and up top, and I've kind of just modified it, trimmed it up a little bit, and I actually think it looks really good. I think I'm going to go with this one. Hopefully you guys can see everything on camera pretty well, but I'm liking the way this is looking. Again, I know there's probably way other many ones out there that are a lot more well designed, a little bit fancier, but again, I need to mass produce these and they need to be strong, so I can kind of set them up in different positions when they're crashing into each other and all sorts of stuff like that. So I think this works for what I'm going for this MOC. Don't want to spend too much time on the speeders because I've got other things I need to work on for the MOC, but I'm actually really happy with this. I've actually had this done for a couple days now, and I've been looking at it, seeing if I want to change anything, and I'm just really liking what I've got so far. So I'm going to go ahead and build a couple more of these and put the assassin droids on there and show you guys what that looks like. Before we move on to finishing the rest of those separatist speeder bikes, I was actually able to look through the collection and find enough parts to make 4 more Republic speeder bikes. So the number of speeder bikes I'm at right now for the Republic is up to 4, and I'm really liking it. I'll set up all of them in a moment here so you can see the full force so far. If you remember last episode, I said I was hoping to get 8 of them built in total, but I'm at 7 right now. I had to change a couple pieces here and there because I actually ran out, but I might order some more. But so far I'm at 7. That's a good number to start at so far, and I'm definitely, once I build the separatist ones, I'm going to build a couple more. As I said in the previous clip, once I do that, I'm going to set up all the Republic ones I have so far versus the separatist ones. Alright guys, and with that, I've built a couple more of these separatist speeder bikes. This was all I was able to make. I know it kind of pales in comparison to what I've got on the Republic side right now, but I've got 4 in total, which I'm happy with because after I built the first design, I really wasn't sure how many more I was going to be able to build, but I've got the assassin droids on there. Right now you can see how they kind of fit in there. The droid bodies are kind of awkward to try to fit onto a speeder bike because they don't really have anything to clamp onto because they don't have the studs on the bottom like the clones do. If you notice on like separatist speeders, it's kind of, they kind of just sit in there and slide in, and kind of friction holds them in place, which is kind of hard when you just have friction to hold your minifigures in place and not actually studs. So what I've done is got it to where a couple of them, it depends how I position them, are able to hold on to the handles. That's what those handles are for. So like this one on the right, I've actually positioned them where you can hold on to the handle. So hopefully that'll be sufficient enough to make sure they stay in their seats when they're actually swooping at the Republic and getting into a giant battle. But here are the 4 speeder bikes I've got done so far for the separatists. Looking good, I'm happy with them, especially in formation. I think they look really nice in formation. I'm definitely going to have to order some more parts, which I didn't really want to do for the speeder bikes. I wanted to order parts for some other things. I was really hoping to have enough pieces to build at least 8 of each faction, but I've run a little bit short, so I will be making an order as well for these and a couple more ones for the Republic. So I'm hoping to have in total, after I get my order done, 12 versus 12. We'll see if I'm able to get all those parts, but I don't think it should be too hard, or hopefully not too expensive, just because the parts I've used I don't think are too expensive on Bricklink. So I'm hoping by next episode or the episode after that, or just on the finale, we'll see, to have 12 versus 12 as the final number for speeder bikes. So now that I've got the separatist speeder bikes finished up, or at least all that I can make at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and set up the Republic speeder bikes, and I'm kind of going to put them across from each other just so you can kind of get a sense of what exactly we're looking at so far. Here's just an alternative angle of the speeder bikes from kind of a down low position. I was kind of bending down and saw this angle right here, and I thought I'd just record it real quick, because I think eye level on MOCs always, to me, is the most interesting thing, is when you take a look at eye level, kind of bend down, go on your knees and look at the MOC from kind of a minifig level, and man, does it add a whole bunch to the MOC. So I'm super happy with this angle. Thought I'd just show you guys it real quick so you guys can get a good view of the speeder bikes in action. Now just imagine a couple more of these swooping in and out of the city, going to meet General Kenobi and the rest of his speeder bikes and clones up on the front in the battlefield for one of the most epic clashes in all of Star Wars. So gosh, I can't wait to just finish having as many as I hope I'm able to build, and just having them clash and just having it be this destructive, awesome, epic battle. Something that I don't know if has been done in the LEGO Star Wars community before, in terms of like a massive speeder bike battle. I'm just super excited to set it up and figure all that out. You know, you guys know I love setting up figures and spending way too much time doing that, trying to perfect it, but I'm super excited with it. But here's another angle. Let's get back to the video. All right, guys, so here's what I've got so far with the two factions lined up. Right now, obviously, the Republic outnumbers the Separatists, but as you saw earlier in the episode, this was all the parts I had available to build the droid speeder bikes. But let's just focus on the Republic for a moment in all of its glory. There are 7 speeder bikes right now. You can see there's going to be a lot of cool different angles to have with these guys. I haven't done any like actual official setting up of the figures. As you can see, I've literally just placed the speeder bikes and put some clones on there. I want to save all that stuff for when I get both sides their full potential. Then I'll finally whip out the full-on figure setup for them and show you guys what I've come up with for that. But for now, I'm going to kind of keep it a little bit of a secret and kind of just do plain and simple for now until I get everything built and completed, just so you guys have something to look forward to, and there's a little bit of a surprise for once I get all the speeder bikes completed. Here's our wide shot of the speeder bikes. So now, again, my goal is to hopefully, once I get these orders through, to have 12 on each side. We'll see if that's going to be a possibility, but now you can kind of imagine what 12 on 12 would look like. Right now it's 7 versus 4. Droids are a little outnumbered down over there, but just, I'm really happy to just have kind of starting to have this force on force action with the two sides on the speeder bikes. Now that I have more than one side built, I've got both sides, the design down, and of course I'll hear back from you guys for some feedback, and hopefully you guys like the droid speeder bike design, and hopefully you guys are liking both of the factions and their speeder bike design. I'm definitely happy with them. My expectations were very low and I was very scared going into this, but now that I've completed both designs, I'm a little more confident, and I'm definitely happy with the way these turned out. And I have even more of a new appreciation for vehicle builders, because I don't know how you guys do it every time. It's frustrating, it's difficult. So props to all the vehicle builders out there who do it consistently, because it's not easy, and I have a newfound respect for everybody that does that. So now that I am finished with these speeder bikes, the next few episodes, hopefully I'll be getting those parts in and those orders in, so I'll be able to complete more for each side and hopefully have enough to do 12 versus 12. So I'll order those parts as soon as I can, as soon as I finish kind of sourcing all the parts, see what I have left in the collection and see what I need to order, and I'll get those ordered as soon as possible. So hopefully by the next episode or the finale, there will be enough speeder bikes to go 12 versus 12. So that should be pretty exciting. That's about it, guys. A lot of progress for this episode. Got four more speeder bikes done for the Republic, and of course got the Separatist speeder bike designs down. I've got the one leader right there, which was kind of the first prototype, and then I've got the actual other 3 that I will be primarily using for the design, and I think they turned out very nice. And I can't stop looking at the Republic, because this is a dream of mine to I've always, ever since I saw the speeder bike charge in 2003, I've always wanted to recreate that in some way. So it's starting to come together, and I'm very excited and happy and humbled to be able to, all these years later, start to kind of put this together as something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. So very excited about that. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. Thank you so much for watching and all the feedback on the last video with the speeder bikes, and hopefully you guys will have some more feedback on the separatist speeder bikes for this episode. Definitely looking forward to what you guys have to say about it. So that's about it. Let's go ahead and move on to the outro. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. I had a lot of fun designing the separatist speeder bikes, and now that I've got both of the speeder bike factions lined up, I think it's starting to look pretty good. I'll try to order those parts as soon as I can so I can build the 12 versus 12. That's my goal, is to have 12 versus 12. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. So I'll try to order those parts soon. So by the next update, or maybe the update after that, depends on some things, hopefully I'll be able to have the full-on speeder bike charge complete. So all very exciting stuff. As always, leave your feedback in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you always.